how's it going, Critter Family? I hope you all are doing well. Today we are going over a new person that was suggested to me, Jason Harris. Now, I am warned that this guy is as bad, if not almost worse than Beckman. So, keep that in mind when we're watching this cute little Staffordshire Terrier being walked. He says, how to use Halty, Slip Blade, and deal with dog reactivity. Dog obedience. Hashtag dog obedience. Okay. So, let's get started.
Dog reactivity, lead reactivity with other dogs. And he's an extreme puller. You can see Hugo's a strong looking dog.
He's got... This leash is all over the place. Where is this leash coming from? Why is it over his little front leg? That's one thing that bothers me. You know, he just went and pet him and the dog gave a lip lick.
Strong Staffy.
If you have the dual leash, that's fine. But why is this underneath the dog's leg? Did he do that on purpose? Because one should be on the harness. One should be on, I would say, a martingale.
Now, he's on his device here that the owners have him on, which is a different style of a harness.
Look how rough he is with this dog.
Never seen. I'm not a fan of harnesses. I don't use them. But this
God, look how, I mean, just look how rough he is with his hands jerking, and he is so just loud. And I know this kind of harness because it was like one of the first no-pull harnesses I ever used with Adonis, where this little strap here tightens. It pulls this something under the underarms. But just trying to get the leash out, he's so rough, grabbing the dog's arm and just loud hands. And so you can always tell he has no concept of soft touch and feel, as Rick Orr would say. If this man were to dance with, you know, a woman or someone on, you know, or a man, I don't know, or they or them, a person on the dance floor, you know, he would be flinging them around and into people and all over the place. He has two left feet when it comes to being soft at all.
Here he's got a handle at the top, and this one here sort of tries to guide the dog.
He's like correcting the dog.
I suppose similar.
He doesn't realize, people like this are so ignorant, and I'm just going to say dumb and stupid, to realize that they don't realize that they're correcting the dog. And they are making this correction useless now, because the dog will learn to ignore it. Because if I do this all day long, and I'm trying to get someone to move, say I'm trying to get a dog or a horse to move, and they don't move because that's not enough to get them to move, or they don't know what I want from them, over time you're just going to ignore it. It might become a massage, you know? But, so that's what they do with these dogs, is the dogs learn to just ignore it, and then you have to do more, and pop my elbow, jeez. Don't get old, kids. You have to do more and be more aggressive, or use your brain and teach them a better way. Like, hey, go over here, because it's easier. Don't pull, because you're more comfortable and we get to go sniff.
Halty. It's a bit of a contraption. I feel like I'm sort of driving something here. I don't know. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the session on the harness. I'm going to see how good he can walk for me.
So you could reward him here because he's just standing there.
We can work between us. We've got our gentle leader and we have our slip lead. So I'm going to see how we go, start him off, doing just a bit of awareness work on the harness, and then we'll go from there.
Little chunky monkey. So that means he's going to have pent-up energy.
So we'll see
to have more exercise.
And right now, I don't feel like I'm in much control. So
now I would still walk this dog in the same thing. I mean, I would probably get a more comfortable harness for them, one that's not designed to stop them from pulling. Look at this little sausage roll. He's so cute. But definitely needs to lose weight for his own good, for his own health and safety and less pent-up energy. But I could see why they wouldn't take him out as often to get as much exercise, because he pulls. But I would have this dog, if this dog is pulling this way, or say right in front of us, I would have him on the same, you know, whatever contraption on a harness clipped on the back. I don't need anything on the front. And if he's really going to pull hard, then I will move him left or right. I do the same on the back, that when you clip it to the front of a front clip harness, it does the same thing, but I'm physically doing it from the back. So in the front, when he starts pulling, it turns his body this way. So when I'm walking with them, instead of turning their body this way, I lean their body this way. So I lean them, you know, again, if they're going straight in front of me, and I take the leash and I apply as much pressure, sometimes it might be a lot, depending on how much the dog ignores pressure, Move them to the right or to the left just a little bit. Take a step and loosen. And we're going to do that over and over, a 2-step dance, until we can stand softly on a loose leash. And then we can take a couple steps. If he starts pulling, every time he pulls, we're going to stop and do that again. If he's walking on a loose leash, then we can keep walking. I have a description, or I have a video that I put in every description of every video that I make, showing how I taught my Shiba, how I teach loose leash walking using pressure and release.
Walking me, I think. We'll come up the top here. It's a bit wet down the bottom. So now I can see why the owners have me, to try and help them out with this little issue.
So he should be teaching the owner, though. But he should be teaching the owners, not making a video of just simply him working with the dog.
Of Hugo when he's walking. So let's see if I can get some attention with Hugo.
Of course, he has his little treat pouch. They always do, but they never use it.
Now, I'm not going to go to a food. I will use food as a reward for when he offers me a good action.
Agreed.
But I'm not going to use food as a way to get the action, if that makes sense. And bribe.
Well, that's not bribery. But, you know, he's doing as in shaping. But I don't usually use food when I'm teaching walking. I use the walk as the real life reward. But that's, you know, one of the few times when I don't use a lot of treats.
Because it will fail me out in this real world. But if he does choose
Now, it won't
to
necessarily fail you. You will just have failed the method because you don't know how to do it properly. You rely on pain compliance.
and not react to a dog, I'm certainly going to reward it with food. But it's not a tool I'm going to teach him.
It's not it. Him.
I'm going to have to be, you know, reasonably firm with Hugo and teach him that he's got to be aware of me.
No, you don't need to be firm or reasonably firm. I mean, I get it. Like, I've had a dog that pulled me on my face twice. In instances when you do need to get a little bit more firm and be like, hey, you really need to pay attention to me because you are just whatever, you know, totally ignoring me. But in that case, you still have to remember, when I did that, I learned very quickly, we're in way too advanced and distracting of an area. We're working way too fast, so we need to... Next time, we're going to plan out the session differently. So you know, in the moment, I gotta tell the dog, you can't be pulling me on my face because you're gonna injure me, which, you know, I already got bad knees and bad back and it did hurt for a couple of days, you know, but you're gonna injure your owner. Like, there's times when you do have to set limits, even as a positive reinforcement trainer, for safety. Hi, Hermes. Hermes is in his tunnel. But that doesn't mean that in this case here, I would be walking this dog just fine on this leash, no problem. And it's not an excuse to be aggressive, or in his case, I imagine, abusive, just like Joel Beckman. We'll see how he teaches.
Now, he has no awareness of me as a handler.
Well, you haven't tried to get his awareness.
This is how he walks for his owners. So let's see if I can get some attention.
Because the attention he only ever gets is jerking and popping and yanking and pulling. And you gonna pay attention to someone like that? Hell no. So, dude, shut up.
This here's quite a contraption. The method that I normally use, which is basically a lot of direction
He's
training.
He's going to go from cold turkey, only ever heel next to me, because I'm over-controlling and I'm overbearing and I'm special and I got opposable thumbs and I'm just an egomaniac.
I'm going to work to a loose lead. So no commands, we're just going to walk off. Well, we're going to go this way. So try and drive him back here.
Pop, pop, pop.
We'll see if I can get him walking a bit better for me.
Now that only works because he has leverage, because he's pulling the dog on the side. That's not good for the dog. Doing what Joel would do, but Joel wouldn't even be using the
Turning
harness.
around. Okay. This thing is
Quit popping him, loser.
So getting a little bit of attention here.
No, you're not getting attention. He's avoiding pressure is all it is. He doesn't give a shit about you, dude.
No distractions, though. So we're going to see.
This whole area is distracting. Dummy. Smart dog.
In this area
Dumb
first,
human.
all I'm doing here now is working to try and get a bit of a loose lead.
You've been having a loose lead, stupid.
So that is a bit better. That being said, there's no distractions around here.
This whole area is distracting. You are a stranger. I'm sure you've never been here before. Even if he has been here before, there's new smells all over the place.
A little bit of direction change.
I'm not going to be going through this whole 27-minute video.
Okay.
I would probably lose my mind. But
Now,
unless
some
you
of
want
you
to see
watching
that,
this
then I will
and
do
go,
it in
"He's
separate
gonna be
parts.
great."
If you want to see me go over this, like we got short lips, whale eyes. He's going to cause this dog to burst a blood vessel with as much as he's pulling on it. If you want to see me finish this video in a series, then please let me know. Put a little doggy emoji in the comments below. And let me know that you want to see more of this.
Gonna be perfect. That's not gonna happen.
Okay, we're not looking for perfect. You're not perfect. I guarantee you're the furthest thing from perfect, dude, with how you treat animals. You know, Gandhi said, or someone said, you can judge a person based on how they treat their animals.
There's another dog, we're not gonna have this. I guarantee you. It got some control in that area.
You got a lot of control.
Absolutely. But I'm still a believer in a gentle leader or a slip lead. So
Because
what I'm gonna go
you rely on it. And you will never get this dog off of those tools because you don't teach anything. You're just a snake oil salesman who just sells these tools. That's it. You don't teach anything. You make it like it's a miracle cure, and it's not. Hi, Herms.
now is I'm going to go, let's go slip lead first. And the reason I like the slip lead
is because it doesn't take a lot of force. It's because you have leverage, because it's a noose, a choke lead around a dog's neck.
It gives me better control through the top area of his body.
It's already so tight. He's just like
now Hugo being so
slamming
strong through the chest,
over the dog's
he
head.
can develop all his power through here. But my slip lead, I can design it that it doesn't, it's still loose.
You can choke him. There's the thyroid gland. There's blood flow. There's the trachea. There's arteries, salivary glands in here. All sorts of very important medical stuff. Jargon, not really jargon, but like, you know, medical. It's very important here medically that if you put a noose on it, that's why we designed the noose that way, to hang people. Now they designed it for dogs, to choke them.
Fingers are
and
in
call
there,
it training.
But it gives me better control up higher on his neck without hurting the dog.
Oh, baloney, dude. Okay, now you're a liar and an idiot. It absolutely hurts the dog, otherwise how does it work? Anyone who still believes that malarkey is just blind because they don't want to admit that they're abusing their own animal in the name of training.
Enabled me to not pull so much body weight around, so I won't take the harness off yet.
So now this thing is going to be slapping around and flapping around and hurting the dog. Possibly.
And now we're on the slip lead. So, let's bring Hugo here now.
Ouch, 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 ouch. How many corrections was that? And then he has to force the sit.
And high. This is a problem when people have a lead and it slips around the chest too much. You don't have that same control.
Well, it's also not good because when you have those, I don't like those gentle, not gentle leader. Is it? Gentle leader, easy walk harnesses, because it restricts the shoulders and that leaves an unnatural gait and it's just holding the dog back. Even with that tool and even with this harness, you're not teaching the dog anything. You're just relying on this tool. I use a regular harness, a nice, comfortable Rabigoo, Rabigoo, I believe is how it's spelled. I use a nice, comfortable harness that has room here, you know, comfortable and padded in the chest, room, you know, for free flowing of the shoulders. The dog can pull as hard as they want in that, but I still hook up the harness in the back. And I still teach them the same way that I explained to you. If I need a martingale, a nice wide martingale that's a cloth type, no chain, I'll use that as a backup if I really need to help kind of gain control of the dog, which would be just for very specific cases like the service animal that I'm training.
Hugo's a very strong dog who wants...
And I say that service animal because right now he's nothing close to a service animal. And I don't know if he will be approvable as one. So just because you have a dog doesn't mean that it's suitable to be a service animal. And I let people know. You know, I hold them... I tell them truthfully.
Be able to maintain control of him. It's nice and loose there, fingers under, there's no pulling on the neck.
Oh, shut up.
I'm always telling you guys, I'm aiming to have a loose lead. So he's...
That is not going to stay that loose, dummy. That's why it's a slip lead. Because it chokes. It still chokes and gets tight here. I don't care how loose you say it is right here. It's not a fixed collar. It's a noose.
Board when he's in the right spot, the lead
Stress
will be loose.
panting.
Let's see how we go with this slip lead walking off. Again, no commands, same principle.
Ouch.
Go.
He popped him to go forward, and he's going to choke him to come back. This poor little dog. Ouch. Another ad. We're not 5 minutes in, we had 2 ads.
We're just
3
trying to
if
get
you
better
include the one
awareness there. Hugo,
before the
paying
video
attention
even
to
started.
me.
He's so jerky
Little
and poppy, it
direction
looks like
change,
he's Parkinson's.
Little pop of the lead. Very small.
Ouch.
That's all we do. Small. We don't keep the pressure on.
Ouch.
Pull across.
You don't
Loose
have to
lead.
because it's a noose.
This is where we want the dog. Loose lead.
He
Good
wasn't
boy.
paying attention, so we popped him again. Not paying attention because he is a camera person. Popped
Good
him again.
boy.
Sniffing.
Yes. Good.
Dog
Hugo
still doesn't
avoided
care
the
about
lead
you. He's not
pull
paying
in.
any
He
attention to you.
followed
He's
me
avoiding
with
pressure.
no
There was another
correction.
pop. Another pop.
You do that right, and the dog will very quickly figure out.
Another pop.
And
Ouch.
the reason I'm not talking to him much here is I want
Doesn't
him
even
looking
give him
up.
a chance. Doesn't talk to him because he gets off on correcting an animal. I swear, there's people out there that are so obsessed with correcting, like him and Joel and Dog Daddy, that they somehow get some kind of pleasure out of harming animals in this way.
If I'm always cueing him verbally, he's going to wait. Good
Well, why
boy.
shouldn't you let him know what's going to happen before it happens? Give him that chance, and then if he doesn't, then, he reaches the end of the leash. Not on a slip leash, on a harness.
He's going to wait for those verbal cues.
No,
I
he
wanna do
won't.
more-
Not necessarily. You don't know that.
Yes. Good boy.
So now he's waiting for the abusive cue, which is the pop on the slip lead.
Boy, reward that behaviour. Beautiful.
With a pet on the head,
So
he
we've
doesn't
got
give a shit
nice
about.
control here on a slip lead. Much
At
better
least he
than
doesn't
that.
knee him in the face.
harness.
This dog is looking for
See here?
escape.
This is a dog walking where I walk.
So who cares?
Good boy. Good boy.
Yeah, after 25 pops on a leash, I would probably walk by you too. I mean, if I were a dog, I'd probably go for his calf and try to take as much muscle out of it as I could, so he'd never walk again. I mean, me being a Shiba, I mean,
Yes, good boy, Hugo.
I don't know why I'm so feisty today.
Hugo, I'm
People like
so
this
like
just
his
really
food.
bring out the worst in me.
Not even food.
Of course he
Never
doesn't want to eat food because he's so stressed because you have a noose around his neck. You've caused him so much pain. He doesn't want it because it's too distracting. Guess what? You said it wasn't distracting enough. This whole area is so distracting that he wouldn't have taken food on his harness. That's how you know when a dog doesn't take food, they're too overwhelmed. They're overstimulated.
Yeah, that's fine.
You
Even
jerk.
better. So,
This is a slave.
again,
Slave,
pressure on, pressure off.
slave,
Here you go.
master.
Sit.
Shove him tight and then shoving that spine down.
Hi, baby.
Okay, this guy is already getting me like really riled up. I don't want to. We're gonna end that here. So far, this is what I think of him. I think he's just a big dummy, and he's just abusive, and he's just cruel. So, and he's a liar, and he's a charlatan, all these other names. But that's this review. If you do want to see the rest of this one, then put a little fire truck emoji in the comments below. And then I can do more of this in little spurts so you can get the different parts of it and get the whole video. Thanks for the suggestion. This guy is just a crazy man. This poor little dog. It will rely on the slip lead or the head halter just as much as it relied on this silly harness. So, hope you all are doing well. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Go say how to do to your little critters. Give them some kind of loving for me. And give them some kind of loving they appreciate. Until next time, practice peace, patience, and positivity.